does this man right here, Nikola Jovic, need to get more of a spotlight and a spot in the Heat rotation in the second half of the season? I am Nic Rohloff of the Heat Report. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because today we are going to talk about Jovic, what he can bring to the table, and if he should continue to get minutes in this Heat lineup and Heat rotation as the Heat make their post-All-Star break push to the NBA postseason. He obviously was a very large catalyst in the Miami Heat defeating the Milwaukee Bucks just a couple days ago on the road by 26 points. He did not have as good as a game against Philly on Wednesday, but the Heat pick up two big wins on the road to close out their stretch of games before the All-Star break and allow them to go into the break with high morale, riding a two-game win streak, and they are 5 games above 500. Jovic can bring a lot of good things to the table, and I do want to talk about how he could unlock a different version of this Heat team. Do want to say, though, it is a little unfortunate that he did not have a good game against Philadelphia on Wednesday night. He was dealing with foul trouble a lot in this ball game, and then to close the game, Spo went with a lineup of Jaquez, Hero, Duncan, I'm spacing, Haywood Highsmith, and then to close out that lineup with Jaquez. So I was spaced on that one, fellas. But that 5-man lineup played most of the fourth quarter, and Jovic was really dealing with foul trouble for most of that game, which really prohibited him to get really any rhythm. But we saw what he can bring to the table against the Milwaukee Bucks because that game on Tuesday evening was nothing short of spectacular. February 13th will be a day that goes down in infamy as the Nikola Jovic game, where he had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists on 8 of 13 shooting, and shot 5 of 8 from 3. He showcased the ability to hit shots from deep, to be able to get out in transition, to be a front court wall alongside Bam Adebayo defensively to where they can play a two-big lineup. So when they play a Bucks, they play a Boston, where they run two bigs at one time, whether it be Porzingis and Horford, or whether it be Lopez and Giannis, you can put out Jovic alongside Love or Bam and have no issues defensively, no issues on the glass, and no issues when it comes to offensive spacing. I think that is the biggest key when it comes to Jovic and how he brings to the table because he has just been downright terrific when he gets some minutes and is able to really showcase what he can do. I do want to send Nikola Jovic some love, and if you want to show your appreciation for Jovic, spam your 5s down in the comment section. I know he watches these videos because I've been told that some Heat players watch our videos. So if you want to know and want Jovic to know that you have his back and know that he should be in the rotation, spam those 5s down below. Jovic can just do a lot of good things for the Miami Heat that I think really elevates the ceiling of this ball club. And one thing that we've always mentioned in terms of Miami and what their biggest need is a power forward that can space the floor next to Bam Adebayo in the front court. Too often, Erik Spoelstra goes small with Highsmith, with Caleb Martin, with PJ Tucker, and it really just does not give them an advantage when they play teams that have a lot of size. It gives them positional versatility, but it doesn't give them what they truly need in terms of size and defense and rebounding on the glass. Jovic can bring that to the table because he's 6'10", he's 6'11", he can handle the rock. He can do so many nice things. And the thing that really just excites me is his confidence even after not playing for 7 of 10 games. Coming into that Milwaukee game, even early on in the game against Philadelphia, he still started off a little rough with a pair of turnovers and a missed 3. But the next time he got an open look, it was no hesitation. He catches, he shoots, and he knocked it home. I just like what I've seen. I like the confidence, and I think Jimmy Butler has had a large influence on the mental headspace of Nikola Jovic, and it has done justice for his ability to grow, even though he has not played every single night. There's some reasons why I like Jovic and believe that he should get more PT in this Heat lineup, and we'll get to that in a second, but I got to show some love to our sponsor, which is Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app and platform on the market, and you can play very easily by just picking 2 to 6 player stat projections, picking more than or less than on those totals, and you could win up to 25 times your money. Yes, you heard that correctly. My picks for last night's game did not pan out. Unfortunately, I went with Yovic more than points, rebounds, assists. It didn't work, but Duncan and Derek White hit. If I did a flex play, I would have won because I just need to go 2 out of 3. But I did a power play because I only go power plays, and I lost. But luckily, I got that first deposit match from Prize Picks, which was $100 when I went to prizepicks.com/CLNS and used code CLNS. So you could take advantage of that too. That link is in the description and the comment section of today's video. Take advantage. prizepicks.com/CLNS. All right, let's go into Yovic more in depth here because his ability to space the floor is so key. And I wanted to point out something specifically that we didn't see much against Philadelphia on Wednesday night, but we did see against Milwaukee in that Bucks win on Tuesday, because they would often go a simple action on one side of the floor, whether it be a Bam Adebayo post up at the high post or mid post, and he would have the whole side of the floor to work, whether it be left or right, or they'd run a simple pick and roll with Hero, Duncan, and Bam, which would just give them so much space to work with. Why does it give them space? Well, it's because the defense knows it cannot sag off the guys on the other side of the court, whether it be Nikola Jovic, Caleb Martin, and Duncan Robinson, or Tyler Hero. Like, when you have 3 guys that can shoot on that side of the floor, defenses can't help off of them, which allows them on the other side to go to work and play their action. But if they do sag off, which they did early in that game against the Heat, when I'm talking about the Bucks game, Yovic made him pay. 3 triples in the first quarter. The scouting report in the first part of that game was clearly let Nikola Jovic shoot the ball and don't let Hero and Bam beat us. Well, Jovic beat them by knocking down 3 first quarter triples, and he had 5 for the game. And I still think that ability plays next to Bam and Jimmy, because Jimmy is not the best spatial partner alongside Bam. He's shooting 45% from 3, but he doesn't shoot them enough at a high volume to really threaten defenses. But if you add Jovic into that lineup, you get the height, you get the spacing. I think it just adds a little bit more to this Heat lineup. It also brings ball handling to Miami because he is not afraid to handle the rock, facilitate, and be the playmaker for the Miami Heat. And the part that I just love so much, and I say this all the time when I talk about Nikola Jovic, is his ability to get defensive rebounds and then just push the pace. I find it so intriguing and find it so impactful when a player, when a guy can get a rebound and just go and threaten the defense. And what Jovic can do is use his long strides to Euro step to the rim for a layup or draw a crowd inside and kick out. He's got a very high IQ. He knows what to do with the ball in his hands. He comes from a point guard mentality, even at 6'10", 6'11", and he can really just distribute the ball in that space and even in the half court, which just makes him so impactful for the Miami Heat. 2 more things that he brings to the table that I want to talk about. But first, be heard. Should Nikola Jovic be in the Miami Heat rotation permanently going forward? If you believe he should, type Y for yes. If you think he still is not ready and he should still be on the bench when fully healthy, type your N's. Another reason is extra size for Bam Adebayo. And I thought this one was one of the more underrated reasons on why I think Jovic should play more. When Bam is the lone big man, he is burdened with being the lone guy to protect the paint and protect the rim inside. But when you have Jovic, I'm not saying Nikola Jovic is going to protect the rim at an elite level. That's not his game. He is 6'10" and can contest some shots better than Caleb Martin, Haywood Highsmith inside. But allowing another guy to be there with length inside the paint allows Bam to play more roam and rover defensively. We saw a couple times Bam get steals. And there was even a point in the game against Philadelphia on Wednesday where they went to a 2-3 zone and Bam was playing on the wing rather than inside. A 6'9" athlete with long arms like Adebayo, who is the best defender in the world, being allowed to play more of a rover, switching, disruptive role rather than be limited to guarding the opposing center in pick and rolls and rim protection allows a more dynamic defense for Miami, which has, by the way, been the best in the NBA in February in defensive rating. Just allows the Heat to do a lot of different things, get out in transition more, and really dominate opponents. The last thing that Nikola Jovic brings, and arguably the best part, his high IQ basketball. Erik Spoelstra values a lot of different things. One of them being smart basketball players, the other being positional versatility, and just not being someone who has to do one specific thing. Jovic might be one of the smartest basketball minds on this team, and he's only 20, 21 years old. I'm being dead serious. Even after not playing a severe amount of minutes over the past year and a half, as he is in his second year, you could just tell he knows what to do. It's the subtle things, the little nuances. I go back to a play on Tuesday against the Milwaukee Bucks where it was a 2-on-1 break with him and Jaime Jaquez Jr. And usually when you go 2-on-1, you space the floor because it really puts the defensive player in a rough spot, right? What did Yovic do? He actually went down closer. He created less space in between the two. Why did he do that? Because it makes the defender have to really choose between one of the two. If you have more space, the guy can actually play more in the middle and just hope you screw up. But when you go to that really close level, you force them and the defender to pick one. And when he made the slight nudge towards Yovic bringing the ball up, well, it was a simple little shovel pass to Jaquez for an easy layup. And the defender, because of Jaquez being so close, was unable to rotate over and contest the layup. It's the little things for Nikola Jovic that is so impactful. And even though he didn't really do much against the Philadelphia 76ers in the Wednesday win, I still think that he should be in this Heat rotation moving forward. Should he start? Maybe that's a different conversation for a different day. But I am willing to put my stamp on him needing to be in this Heat rotation and in this Heat lineup. It raises the ceiling of this team. You live with the defensive lulls at time, but you get so much more on the glass and in the offensive side of the ball game. That is going to do it for today's video. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you are here for the entirety of the video, you obviously like what I bring to the table. So hit that sub button. Non-stop Heat videos all year long. We're not going anywhere. We're also going live for almost every Heat basketball game for the rest of the season into the postseason. Join the channel, hit that sub button, and I'll see you on the next video.